What is it that makes up the human experience? It's a hard question to answer, right? We're all human but lead very different lives with all kinds of different circumstances. So how can we describe the human experience with so many variables between us? Well, buckle up, Aluxers, because today we're going for a philosophical ride to examine the 15 things every human should experience before they die. Number 1. Heartache, so you can appreciate love. As long as you still allow your heart to feel, this one is difficult to avoid, but you may soon agree with us that it's an important one to experience. As with every point on this list, experiencing heartache gives you emotional context. It allows you to examine healthy relationships in your life and fully appreciate them because you know what it feels like to be hurt, and when paired with emotional intelligence, you'll be less likely to treat someone else the same way. The next time it feels like your heart is broken into a million pieces, stop and register this feeling in your memory. Keep it tucked away to fully appreciate the ones who would never be the cause of your heartache. Number 2. Loss, so you appreciate what you have. We go through life trying to minimize our losses as much as we can, but have you ever thought about how they could actually serve you well in the big picture? People who experience great losses and who don't let those losses define them carry many lessons learned with them into the future. It allows them to not take what they do have for granted and helps them to grow their decision-making skills. Both major wins if you ask us.
What do you think happens when we die, Keanu Reeves?
I know that the ones who love us will miss us.
Number 3. Death, so you can appreciate life. Okay, traumatic or violent death is someone no one should ever have to experience, but death itself is quite natural, and when framed correctly in our minds, it's not something to necessarily fear. Socrates can tell you why. There is, however, a sadness attached to it, of course. Experiencing the death of a loved one can leave what feels like a gaping hole in your chest, but it can also serve as a reminder that you are still alive. Don't take that reminder for granted and start adding more meaning to your daily life. Number 4. Anger, so you appreciate peace. Anger is probably one of our most intense human experiences. In extremes, it can be toxic, so it is vital to learn how to navigate your anger in a healthy way. Feel the anger, but don't act on it. Your anger is trying to tell you something about yourself. Something triggered it within you. What was it and why? Examine what you might be able to do to dissipate that anger and take action moving through it. Not only will you be a happier individual for learning this skill, but it will also allow you to more fully appreciate the peaceful moments you get to enjoy as a result. Number 5. Chaos, so you appreciate calm. Chaos means something very different to each one of us. For some, chaos is just getting their kids to all 6 extracurricular activities in the run of a week. For others, it's fleeing a burning city. Living through extreme chaos can lead to PTSD, and if this is you, please don't be afraid to reach out for help. Post-traumatic stress is complex, but you're certainly not alone. We, of course, wish no one had to endure the extremes, but chaos in all its forms carries with it perspective, a perspective that allows you to recognize calm and appreciate peace. Number 6. Loneliness, so you appreciate the presence of others. Sure, some people pride themselves on being hardcore introverts, and it works well for them, but that's not most people. Like everything on this list, we don't wish the extremes on anyone, but experiencing loneliness in life will allow you to more fully value times of togetherness. It can also give you the opportunity to do some self-exploration and define for yourself the kind of life you would like to live, without the outside influence of others. Number 7. Stress, so you appreciate mindfulness. Extreme stress is flat out dangerous to humans over extended periods of time, but intermittent stress can actually serve us well in our life and our careers. It can inspire us to push harder and make things work, but it can also leave us feeling pretty drained. Working through stress allows you to find greater meaning in mindfulness, cultivating an awareness of the here and now and putting a stop to the racing thoughts and worries to just be present and allow greater insights to come through. If this is an area you struggle with, we can help you out through our Mind Mastery course. You can join the thousands of people who've upgraded their skill set with us by going to Alux.com/courses and enrolling today. Number 8. Isolation, so you appreciate community. This one is kind of linked to point 6 on loneliness. The difference is, though, you can feel lonely within your community, but isolation is not having one. Human beings need community to thrive, which is why many people feel pretty isolated when they move to a new city. Sure, it might have been annoying in your small town when everyone knew everyone else's business, but a lot of us don't recognize the major value in community until we feel like we no longer have it. The bright side, as long as you're willing to act, these feelings of isolation are temporary, but your newfound appreciation won't be. Number 9, humility, so you appreciate learning. Accepting that we don't know something can be a major blow to our egos, and honestly, we all have an ego. The difference is some people are more hell-bent than others to protect its fragility, and it's these poor saps who will never learn or grow. Feeling, and better yet, embracing humility allows you to more fully appreciate learning and the knowledge you acquire. Life flows a lot smoother when you stop digging your heels in and pretending like you know everything. Number 10, cruelty, so you appreciate compassion and kindness. Some people only experience true cruelty through actions of others on a screen. Let's call those the ultra-fortunate. But for many of us, we experience some degree of cruelty through life, and it leaves an unmistakable imprint. The important thing here is to lean into emotional intelligence and allow that cruelty to teach you a lesson in how not to act. You know firsthand how it feels to be treated with cruelty, and you can use it as inspiration on how you would like to carry yourself through life. Remember, the view is always better when you take the high road. Number 11, helplessness, so you understand the importance of helping each other. Nothing humbles you faster than the feeling of helplessness, but even here there's wisdom to be gained. As mentioned in point 8, humans thrive when we work together. Anthropologist Margaret Mead was once asked what was the first sign of ancient civilization, and surprisingly, she said it was evidence of a broken femur bone that had healed. In the animal kingdom, a broken leg basically means death. The fact that this major bone break had healed suggested someone stayed with the fallen, carried them to safety, bound the injury, and cared for them through recovery. It was the literal beginning of humans helping other humans to thrive, and that's still how we thrive today. Number 12, fear, so you can recognize and overcome your limits. Fear, our most intense human emotion. It can keep us alive, but it can also hold us back if we let it. Facing fear is ultimately what allows us to level up in life. Being afraid and doing it anyway is one of those superpower character traits that can be cultivated. In order to do this, though, you need to feel the fear and face it, not flee. Number 13, confusion, so you can appreciate the truth. Look, no one enjoys the feeling of being perplexed, but use that feeling to feed your curiosity. Confusion, when handled correctly, can teach us how to ask the right questions, and even give us an opportunity to more deeply get to know ourselves. Explore your confusion with bravery, and you'll come out stronger on the other side. Number 14, hustle, so you can deeply appreciate life's simple pleasures. Most people in this world know what it feels like to hustle and hustle hard. Life is more fast-paced than ever before, and indeed, being of sound mind and body to be able to participate in that hustle is a privilege, but it certainly does give perspective to life's simple pleasures, doesn't it? Sipping wine while watching the sun sink behind the mountains is pure bliss by comparison. The beauty found in the simple things takes on a whole new meaning when you zoom out from the hustle. Number 15, poverty, so you appreciate creating success. Poverty isn't something everyone will experience, and it can definitely be argued that no one should have to. Unfortunately, though, we don't currently live in a world without it. Experiencing poverty can continue generationally, but through education, anyone can position themselves better in life and fight to end the cycle for their family. Knowing what poverty feels like can push you to help as many people as possible to escape that cycle and begin building eternal wealth for themselves, which is exactly why we created a brand new course called Learning Mastery, launching at the end of the week, where you'll discover how to teach yourself anything that will add value to your life. And honestly, that's one of our biggest goals here at Alux, to provide as much value as possible and help as many people as we can to create a better position for themselves so they can start playing this game of life like they really mean it. Now, of all of these facets of the human experience, which of them taught you the greatest lesson? And what was it? Please share with the community in the comments, and we'll be right there with you. And of course, before we wrap it up for today, we have your bonus. One more thing everyone should experience before they die, and that is failure, so you can recognize your own strength. Look, we don't grow strong through our wins, Aluxers. We grow strong through overcoming our losses. While failure might seem like the worst thing ever when it first occurs, examining that failure will teach you lessons you may never have gotten otherwise. It gives you the opportunity to grow and learn to do things better, faster, and stronger than ever before. Failure is a key ingredient to success, and remembering that will keep you strong.